Hello and welcome back to Make It Yappen.
Hello.
I'm Bethany and this is Shan.
Hello.
Shan, babe, what is your advice for the week?
Right, so my advice for the week is the only time that you will fail is when you don't try. So if you try and it doesn't work out, it's still time well spent, babe.
Ah, very, very wholesome.
Very wholesome. And what is your advice for this week, my love?
My advice is, if you give a man a fish, you'll feed him for a day. But if you feed him to the fishes, he'll never go hungry again.
Oh my god. Okay, love it. Let's get into it.
As to be expected, at some point, you know, with anybody having a podcast, I do want to talk about sex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got to be done, isn't it?
It has to be. It's the natural order of things.
Yep.
Sex is a very, very prominent topic.
Yeah.
An interesting topic to get into. And I want to talk about, I want to start with talking about, are you too vanilla?
Oh, okay.
Or is it just a myth? Do people put on the fact that they're more freaky than, I guess, like, what they actually are? And is there anything wrong with being vanilla? Because personally, I know a lot of people that ain't freaks.
Yeah. But I feel like that gets slated.
Yeah, it does.
And they're like, oh, you're boring. Well, are you though? I don't think so, not necessarily.
Because no one's knocking missionary.
No, what's wrong with that?
They're not. Like, no one's knocking it.
No, it's fine.
It does the job.
It does what it needs to do.
It does. I mean, and yeah, spice it up if you want to, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But if, like, that's what you enjoy, you don't need to be, like, gagged and bound
No.
in order to enjoy sex. But I know a lot of people that, you know, can only enjoy sex if there is some sort of extreme element to it.
Yeah.
I think, like, a trend that's come on in recent years in particular, masks.
Oh, yeah, mask wearing.
Masks are a big one.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you've got Ghostface, that's a popular one.
Oh, yeah, that's a huge one.
Which, to be honest, like, I don't know. It kind of freaks me out that people don't want to see other people's faces when it comes to, like, sex, because for me personally, I connect in a very emotional way.
Yeah.
And with masks, obviously, there is a lack thereof of emotion.
Yeah, you're not looking at anyone's eyes, are you?
And that scares me. I'm scared. I'm staring into the void.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm vanilla.
Maybe you are.
Oh.
Well, I don't know. I think it's a strange one. I think there's so many lines that can be crossed with it. But, I mean, in a way I get it, because it's a little bit more exciting. I mean, it's highly likely that you know who you're sleeping with when they've got a mask on. But, because you can't, I don't know, I guess because you can't see their expressions and stuff, you can use your imagination, babe, and that's the most exciting bit.
I suppose so. It is. It's like it's a fantasy thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, the devoid of emotion thing isn't something for me personally.
Mm-hmm.
Also, like I say, because there is that devoid, like, emotional divide, it does freak me out slightly as well, because like, yeah, I might know who I'm sleeping with, but I don't know if they're enjoying it.
Yes, yeah, I guess that makes sense.
But I do get why it's a big thing. You know, it is very sexy for some people. Like, you take people like Sleep Token, for example, who wear a mask.
Yeah.
And they've got the rippling abs.
Mm-hmm. They are hugely objectified. But you know what? They do it. They're doing that on purpose.
Oh yeah, they're leaning into it. And I do get it. And you know what? If you can make something off of that, then fair enough.
Yeah.
Because I think Sleep Token as a band hinges slightly on that, I guess, sex appeal.
Yeah, it's anonymous sex appeal, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like...
Which is clearly successful.
All I can think about, though... is, like, obviously the band is anonymous. I'm sure with some cursory Google searching you could probably work out who it is.
Yeah.
But imagine if that person looked absolutely rats.
I know. What if you just don't fancy him?
Yeah. And I guess that is the illusion of masks, isn't it? It's the
the
possibility that you're sleeping with
anyone.
and
You
therefore...
can imagine them to be anyone.
Yeah, exactly. You're imagining them to be anyone. So, masks are an interesting one, but I do understand why they're becoming more popular and increasingly more popular, because I suppose it's another type of role play.
Yeah, definitely, and I think it's like a less extreme preference.
Yeah.
Like, it's like a less extreme thing to be into, so it's just like more acceptable thing to do, I think.
I tell you what though, it's a cheaper option as well, because instead of doing full garb, full nurse's outfit, full French maid, it's just the top bit.
It is, babe.
Yeah.
Wear whatever the fuck else you want on the bottom or nothing at all.
Yeah.
You know?
I tell you what though, I really draw the line at furries.
Yeah, babe. Yeah, I'm drawing the line there. That's no, it's not for me, babe. No.
No, it really isn't. But, I mean, if you're into it, fine.
It's okay.
It's okay. It is. It's a... You know
Look,
what?
no judgment here. We're not here to kink shame.
No, we're not here to kink shame. We're just here to just discuss.
Yeah.
I don't know how popular furries are in this country. I know they're bigger in America.
Yes. I think they are.
But it's expensive as well, you know, like...
Yeah, it's a full fucking get up that, isn't it?
Like, I've paid for... Hang a minute, right. This is going somewhere different. I've paid for Halloween costumes. Halloween costumes. Get your head out the gutter. And they've been really expensive. And they're shitty plastic, like polyester.
Oh, yeah, that polyester shit that sparks when you walk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You've all been there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all I can think about is, like, how expensive the furry suits are, because they're huge for a start.
They're like proper mascot-esque get-ups, right?
Yeah.
So, nah, lads, you've got to be shoving a bit of money into that. That's mad.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And
Yeah.
just a fuck
That's very committed.
as well, which is like, I don't even know how you would in the...
Do you know what I think I can't do? It's the whole aspect of it is like you're essentially playing a character. I can't do that. I'm not. I just fucking laugh my ass off, mate. It would not be.
You're not getting nominated for an Oscar anytime
No.
soon then.
I'd be in tears, like, laughing. I'd destroy
You
the
just
mood.
simply could not commit to the bit.
No. Never gonna happen. Ridiculous behaviour. No, I can't. Apologies, not for me.
I can't say that I've really role-played in a way that's me actually playing a character.
No.
I certainly wouldn't be able
Would
to...
you find it funny, though? Would you not just absolutely burst in hysterics?
Yeah, because I'm not selling this part.
No.
I've worked in sales, but by God.
Girl, I'm not selling this.
Oh, God. Because you've got to... Yeah, it's that pretending that it's not awkward and funny. I mean, I do get why. I think it's stereotyped that a lot of older couples... I say older, like middle-aged.
Yeah.
When the honeymoon phase has gone and the kids have drained everything from you and you try to ignite the spark.
Yeah, they're trying to spice it back up.
Yeah, which, you know what? Hats off to you
Yeah, fair
if
play.
you can do that.
Yeah.
I think that's really fun. Maybe I'll get into roleplay when I'm,
When you're in your 50s.
when I'm in my 50s.
Go on, lass. Don't fucking tell me about it, because I'll take the piss.
But yeah, right now, I don't think I really need... Well, I say I don't think I need that. I know I don't need that.
No.
For me personally.
Yeah, no. I think with this whole thing, because those are like fetishes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's other fetishes that I think people... You've got like a 50 split. Some people think they're super weird. Some people think that they're not weird enough.
Yeah.
And I don't know where the land lies for me on a lot of them. I'm like, don't know. You know, like feet.
Oh.
That's like a common one, isn't it?
It is a common one, is feet. It's anatomy.
I don't get it though.
I know what you mean. Feet to me, oh God, is this exposing stuff about me? This is from I was going to say, this isn't to say that I've got like a massive foot fetish. I don't. But I get why feet might be a bit more appealing, because...
I feel like your feet would be appealing because you've got Disney feet. You've got tiny wee little feet.
I've got nubbins, babe.
They're really weird.
Yeah, thank you.
I mean, they're cute, but it's like, you're a grown woman. What are you doing with a child's feet?
They're not that cute. I've got 2 ingrowing toenails.
Oh, fair play. Yeah.
But I get why feet are appealing to some people, because they're quite sensitive.
Okay. Are they? Oh, yeah, no, they are.
Yeah, well, think about if someone...
I fucking hate people tickling my feet.
Yeah, well, imagine, like, somebody not tickling your feet, but, like, maybe doing other stuff to it.
I don't want to... What?
Like, maybe running a feather over it. Again, Not that I've done this.
I would simply kick them in the face. This is what I mean. It's not a mood. It's just not the mood you want. I wouldn't react the way that you want. You touch my feet and booting you in the face.
I mean, justified, yeah. I think it's not the most offensive body part, I don't think. Like, in some cultures, they're worshipped.
Yeah, true. Well, there's a whole Jesus washing feet thing. He loves feet, him.
He does. He's a foot guy.
He's a foot guy.
But I think it is interesting, like, the shame around sex and different kinks and stuff. I mean, we were talking before about, like, in Japan, they've got vending machines for knickers.
Oh my God, yeah.
Which, to me, that isn't even... At first you think, oh, that's quite kinky, but actually it's because the society is so, like, oppressed when it comes to talking about sex.
Mm-hmm.
It ends up being so underground and sexualised and
a bit seedy.
And seedy, and it's not seedy. Sex isn't seedy.
It doesn't need to be.
No.
Don't make it.
It can be seedy, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
But if it's communicated about in a really open and honest way, it doesn't need to be seedy, like, at all. It's
with
very
like two
normal.
consenting partners that are into whatever they're into, I don't really think it should matter to anybody else what they're doing.
Or more.
Or more, yeah.
You know?
Yeah, with any amount of consenting partners, whatever it is that you enjoy and you're doing it and you're all enjoying it, just, like, fine.
Yeah.
Just don't make it weird with people that aren't into it.
Yeah, there is definitely a line of, like, definitely try and experiment if you want to, if you're comfortable with that.
Yeah, try new things, yeah. That's important.
Yeah.
And it's just important to learn what your sexual preferences are, and how are you going to know if you don't try?
That is very true. Yeah. How would you know? I mean, this isn't an excuse for... All I can imagine is someone's listening to the podcast, some bloke's listening to the podcast being like, see, love, this is what I mean, and you do need to try it up the bum.
You just need to try up the bum.
I knew it'd be that.
Fuck off. Not what we're saying, right? Leave her alone.
Get off her. But try it if you're comfortable. If it starts hurting at any point, definitely.
Are you on about anal
stop.
still?
I'm on about just anything, because, like, I'm talking about anal, I'm talking about BDSM, I'm talking about...
Yeah. If it at any
anything.
point becomes uncomfortable, just...
Yeah, even penetrative sex can be uncomfortable for people.
No.
Yeah, stop, get off.
Yeah, piss off.
Because there's nothing wrong with that. But also, as well, like, shame in terms of sex and kinks can also revolve around performance as well. Like, particularly, I find it really interesting because I find, like, a lot of women struggle to orgasm.
Yes.
And a lot of men struggle to not orgasm quickly.
It's a terrible recipe, really.
It really is. You've got women that are just chomping at the bit, really wanting to get there.
It's an uphill climb.
It really is. She's hiking.
She's having to do bits.
And men that are just desperately trying to plug the floodgates.
Yeah.
Or even there's men that obviously, like, struggle to get there as well.
Yeah.
There's obviously, like...
There's so much shame around that.
Yeah, and that fucking sucks ass, because not that there's nothing wrong with having erectile dysfunction, for example, but, like, there are so many different causes for erectile dysfunction.
Yeah. I think it's easy to forget that. So, most women know that sex is a mental game. You've got to be mentally in it to enjoy it and get there.
I am like Troy Bolton head in the game.
Yeah, babe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an Olympic sport sometimes. It is. But it's also easy to forget that it's also a mental game for men.
Yes.
And anxiety, or if they have anxiety around sex for whatever reason, that can cause erectile dysfunction. So it's not necessarily like just a physical thing that's happening. Sometimes you've got to address what's going on in your own head as well.
And that might be some deep-seated shit.
It could be, yeah.
Like, I know we were talking about before, like, religion. Religion, like you always say about, like, Catholic guilt.
Yeah, Catholic guilt. Yeah.
Catholic guilt when it comes to...
Seen that so much.
Sex. Or I suppose any other religion, because, I mean, they're not exactly...
Not dissimilar when it comes to sex stuff.
Oh, God, no. No, it's a case of, you know, you must... What's the word? Where you don't do it. Abstain, thank you. You must abstain until basically you get married and then have at it.
Yeah. Also, What a terrible thing. Because what if you marry this geezer, right? Get into bed, shite.
You would be devastated though, wouldn't you?
You're married.
You absolutely would be. You've got to
you'd
do a bit of window
fuming.
shopping before you put a ring on it.
Yeah.
You really, really do. You've got to make sure that, like...
Are you compatible?
You're compatible. 100%. And people are like, oh, well, you know, I think particularly if you are not overly religious, that's the wrong way of putting it, but if you are... Devout, yeah. Thank you, Theosaurus.
That's all right, babe.
I'm really needing the words today. Yeah, if you are devout, you go, oh, well, it don't matter, it's my husband. We're doing this in a God-honouring way. I'm here to produce children. If you're in a heterosexual... Well, obviously, you're probably going to be in a heterosexual relationship if you're devout.
Most likely.
So it doesn't matter. But the thing is that... the clitoris has 8,000 nerve endings, and I would like somebody that I'm sleeping with to at least hit one of them.
Yeah. If you're struggling to hit one, I don't know what to say to you, babe, to be honest.
Like, and you should...
Short of tattooing an arrow as to where it is, I don't know what else you want to do about that.
Yeah. And I get for guys that there is this big expectation to hit it. Maybe not in other cultures, as such.
Yeah.
But... yeah, I can understand where that anxiety stems from because...
I can understand the pressure for a lot of guys to perform.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, being any gender, right, you are not the gender of... If you're not the gender of the person that you're sleeping with, right, how are you meant to know how it works?
Exactly.
You're not, unless you're giving pointers. So, like, what is so important... in anybody's sex life is open communication.
Yep.
During. Don't give a shit if you think that it's awkward or weird. It's not.
Yeah.
You're two adults shagging. You should be able to tell each other where stuff is.
Yeah.
And what they're doing wrong. Or do it this way. Do you know what I mean? Just give them pointers and...
yeah.
That will make it better.
Yeah, because you might not be, like, their last partner. They might not be your last partner.
Also... my brain's running now. Right. Also, I hate hearing about men who are really good in bed. Right. No, you don't know that.
No.
You were good with the last person you slept with, maybe.
Yeah.
But every single woman is different as well.
Yeah.
So what you did with the last person is probably not going to be as wonderful for the next one.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And on that...
yeah.
Big dick does not mean good in bed.
No.
It doesn't.
No.
It doesn't.
No.
I hate to say it. You could have...
because you often find that they don't know what they're doing with it anyway.
Yeah, I think a lot of guys... oh, this is shaming guys with big dicks now. There's nothing wrong with having enlarged genitals. Not shaming that. I'm just saying...
no, it's fine.
Don't think that because, you've got a tree trunk with an apple on the end of it, like... that it means that you'll be able to perform well every single time.
Yeah.
Because some women actually might not like that.
Yeah. Don't rest on your laurels, basically.
Yeah. It might be quite intimidating for them if you're quite well endowed.
Yeah. Nah. Yeah. No.
Which...
be a lot.
yeah. Like, I can totally... well, I can relate to that slightly. Like... having something like that, a large member. Like
God, that was very erotic novel of you then.
I know. Wasn't it? I'm trying not to make it erotic. If you've got a massive wanger, it doesn't necessarily mean you're good in bed, but it also doesn't mean that you're not good in bed. It just means that you are the same as everybody else.
Yeah.
Near as damn it.
Yeah. A lot of blokes need to understand that as well, that they think that they're smaller than other people and they've got a real complex about it.
Yeah.
Don't.
All I kind of say on that is that, like, some people who I know who thought they were going to be very, very confident in the bedroom went to absolute bits.
Oh, God.
And other people who maybe weren't as confident but, like, gave it the best shot. Smashing, literally.
There we go.
And... yeah, like, you don't need all or that
No.
length,
No.
to be perfectly honest.
Just be receptive to the person that you're sleeping with.
Yeah.
And what it is that they enjoy.
Yeah, and even if you do have, like, a below average size penis, don't let it stop you. People get really caught up in penetrative sex. And yeah, it's good.
It's not the be all and end all though, is it?
No, is it fuck? Is it fuck? Bring back fingering. Bring it back.
Get that on a t-shirt.
Where's that gone?
Where's she gone?
Because from what I hear on the grapevine, it's mostly just men thinking that the weekend DJs on other people's fannies and thinking that is sufficient. Thinking going a bit of the old wiki wah on the top of my thigh.
Oh God. On the left lip.
On the
You're not doing now, babe. Trust me. I'm thinking about what I'm going to cook for tea tomorrow instead. Do you know what I mean? What the fuck are you talking about? Learn where it is.
But the only way that you do that, it sounds quite shameful what I'm saying. I'm like, it sounds like I'm saying, oh, men are bad in bed, blah, 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 blah. It's not that. It's that on both sides, actually, there is not enough communication.
Yeah, no, there isn't.
Because, like, you can turn around and be like, oh, well, that guy's shit, blah, blah, blah. What if it's his first time?
I think there's actually a lot of women as well who reckon they're mint in bed.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, how do you know?
How do you know? Because I'm not being funny, or at least most younger men, like, you don't really have to do much.
For it to be okay for them,
For it to be okay for them, yeah.
But I feel like a lot of women kind of rest on that.
Oh, yeah.
But it doesn't mean it was unbelievable.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
No, and again, like, performance counts for, I guess, what am I trying to say, like, the physicality of performance might count for so little when the mental side is equally, if not more important.
Yeah.
If you're just doing going through the motions, so to speak, during sex, fine, yeah, you probably get there. But was it an enjoyable experience? Would you rate 5 stars on TripAdvisor? Would you come back?
Return trip? No.
Would you, and was there that emotional connection?
That's the thing. So I know that, like, from obviously me and you talking about sex in the past, that we're the kind of people that there's more to sex than just sex. And I know a lot of people just enjoy sex, which is great.
Yeah.
Like, proud of you.
Yeah.
But I know that we're the kinds of people that the biggest thing about enjoying sex is the intimacy.
And also that it's just a very natural thing.
I think that intimacy, for me anyway, personally, intimacy is the biggest factor in whether I'm going to enjoy sex. So
yeah, I
sometimes really get in my head about sex, even now. Which is crazy.
Yeah.
That's always been a thing for me.
Yeah.
Poor Jard. He's got to put a shift in. God love him. But I find that if I've had, like, a particularly, I find intimacy in things that aren't sexual.
Right. Okay.
So, like even just, like, I don't know, stroking my hair, or, like, when someone, even when you're just in, like, a normal environment, when someone just, like, always has to be touching you in some way. They have to have their hand on your leg, or they have to, their elbows need to be touching you or something. Yeah. That, to me, all builds up. Yes. And then I feel like I'm going to have the best sex. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I have to have that intimate side.
Yeah, that closeness.
Yeah. Which brings me on to another point. Aftercare is unbelievably important for me.
Yeah. I tell you what,
I've got to be held. I've got to be cuddled afterwards.
Yeah. I have been in relationships previously where we've had sex and there has been zero aftercare, and honestly it just makes me feel empty. Like it makes me feel unloved, it makes me feel used. Yeah. Like
it didn't mean out, and
yeah. And these are long-term relationships I'm talking about as well. Like it's people who have been in relationships for years.
Yeah.
Years. And thinking, you know, they'll go, oh, well, I don't want to, I'm sweaty, I don't want to, like, touch right now, I need to go to the loo, which I totally get, that, go at the loo, go to the loo.
Go to the toilet after.
Yeah, very important, but...
Especially for women.
It is, honestly, I would get up in the middle of the night and climb 6 flights of stairs to go to the toilet just to avoid the possibility that I might get a water infection. Fuck that.
Yeah. Water infections are harrowing, mate.
Very awful. Anyway, back to the point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been in relationships where, like, there's just not been that aftercare. I mean, I've been in relationships where there's been no fucking intimacy for years. For years.
Yeah. That becomes the normal, though, doesn't it?
It does. It does.
And that makes sex shit, does it not?
It does.
Yeah.
I mean, if you function like that, fair enough. But, like, it couldn't be me. Couldn't be me. I'm soft. I'm soft.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then back to kind of the original point. Like, women struggling to get there. I feel like people rush sex a lot because they're so eager to get down to business.
Yeah.
I get that. Honestly, if you've ever met a man that wants to have sex with you, that is the quickest I've ever seen anyone get changed. Clothes are off. I'm still taking a sock off. This man's naked, in bed, waiting.
Never seen anyone move as quick.
Yeah. Ridiculous.
Yeah, Mo Farah, eat your heart
out. So, like, we take, like, all of 5 seconds to get naked and jump into bed and get down to it. But, like, it doesn't have to be a rush. It shouldn't. No. Well, not that it shouldn't be a rush. Sometimes it needs to be rushed.
Sometimes it should.
Sometimes it should. But other times, I feel like, or in general, I feel like there is a lot of sort of hastiness with sex.
Yeah.
And because of that, there is less room for direction. And I think women in particular do not like giving direction because they do not want to seem dominating. And
yeah,
I totally get that. However, I want to get there.
Exactly.
The price of being maybe perceived as slightly dominating, even though it's not, it's just direction. You can be dominating with it if you want to be.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give examples on the pod. That would be weird.
Yeah, fuck off.
But like, giving direction, you're there to have a good time as well. It's not to do with, you know, it is to do with pleasing the other person, but you're also there and you want to have a good time as well.
Yeah.
So tell them if they're rubbing the top of your thigh. Tell them that you didn't want that finger in your bum. They should be checking anyway, actually.
Yeah.
They should
not check. That's weird.
Yeah, that is weird. You always get consent. I'm not going to sit here and be like, consent is sexy.
Because we're not going to give you the tea analogy. You should know this by now.
Yeah, consent is necessary. Consent is what makes that interaction legal. Literally.
Well, yeah. But also, you can do it in a way that it's like, is completely natural.
Yeah. Are you okay? Do you mind if I do this? Does this feel good?
Yeah.
Are you sure you're all right?
Yeah. All that stuff.
You know, it's very, very natural. It doesn't have to be, please can I put my penis in your vagina and can you sign on the dotted line?
Yeah, can you just sign here?
Yeah. And also, again, consent can be withdrawn, like...
At any point.
At any point. Mm-hmm. And you stop.
Mm.
You know?
Yeah, major.
And, again, like, in some ways, when something like that happens, where you go, actually, I'm not feeling this anymore, that is a perfect opportunity to talk about why you're not feeling it. Not in a way to coerce the other person at all, because again, if you're coercing somebody, that is not getting consent.
No, it's not.
That, you know, if you have
talk them into it. If they've said they're not into it now, then just be like, oh, right, okay.
Yeah, it's done.
Yeah, a little bit annoying, but, you know.
Yeah.
Same old.
It is. Like, but that's the perfect opportunity to talk about, right, well, what's not working.
Yeah.
We sort of covered it before, but, like, guys who have trouble getting there.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's probably guys who are listening to this who are young and think, shit, I shouldn't be having trouble getting there.
Yeah, they shouldn't be happening to me. And
Yeah.
then just simply won't talk about it either.
Yeah. Talk about it. Maybe try counselling. But then there is...
Ask your doctor.
Yeah, ask your doctor. Because it could be a mental thing. It could be a physical thing.
Yeah.
If it is a physical thing, there is stuff out there that will help. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with that.
No, there isn't. It's totally natural.
It is. Like, if you've got erectile dysfunction, like, be honest with your partners, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to be, if you're comfortable with that.
Yeah.
But mainly because, like, you don't want to put yourself in a position where where maybe stuff isn't working and then you've got to explain.
Yeah, because then, do you know, like, it's like calling lads 2 pump chumps, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just, yes, you're taking the piss. And that's, I feel like lads don't know where the line is from taking the piss, but then actually having a serious conversation about it as well.
Yeah.
And it'll just be taking the piss. So you daren't say that that's happening to you.
Yeah. It's always got to be
the joke kind of thing.
Yeah, it's always like, whenever it's talked about, it's always with like thinly veiled humour.
Yeah, it is.
And yeah, I guess if you operate in that way, then yeah, you can make a little bit of a joke about it, but like, don't let making a joke out of it stop you from exploring why that might be, because you're not broken.
No.
It happens.
It also happens a lot more than you bloody think.
It does happen a lot more than you bloody think.
Yeah.
It does. It really, really does.
But no one really talks about it, so...
No.
Right.
But, yeah. I think there's a lot of shame around sex.
Yeah.
I think also, like, the weird things that happen in sex.
Yeah, really.
The weird things that happen in sex.
Yeah. Like, right, everyone, right. This is something that is not comfortable to talk about, but we're going to talk about it.
Okay.
Queefing, mate.
Queefing.
Now, everyone takes the piss.
Yeah, they do.
But it happens.
It does.
And honestly, it's happened, and it makes you feel so embarrassed in the moment.
Oh, yeah.
And it can actually destroy the moment as well.
Yeah.
Because it's like internalised shame over it.
Yeah.
There's no need to be shameful about that.
Nope.
It's fine. It's
It
fucking
is.
absolutely normal. And I guarantee that everyone will do it in their lifetime.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. It's just a fanny fart.
Yeah, just let her do what she needs to do.
She's just got a bit of air up there. It's
It's okay, it's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah, you know. But then, on the other end of the scale, it's fetishised.
Yeah, that's weird.
I
I mean,
know.
well, or is it weird?
I don't know.
I don't know. It's not something I'm personally into. So
No.
or ever would be into.
No, me neither.
But
No.
like, I guess with all things, if it's done in a consensual way, then it's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, but don't get your head in a tiz about it when it happens. Don't try not to let it ruin the moment, because it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely fucking hilarious when it happens.
It is fucking funny. Do you know what? It's actually better to just laugh through it together.
And
Fucking hysterical.
as someone who has personally done that,
Yes.
yeah, it's
Because it's funny as fuck. You're also, can I just say, you're allowed to laugh during sex, and you probably should, because it actually makes it better.
Yeah.
Because there's going to be weird noises. There's going to be weird things that happen. You're probably going to put your leg in the wrong place and potentially knee someone in the balls, and it's just going to be funny.
Yeah.
Just laugh through it.
Oh yeah.
Everyone does it.
100%. It's like when you get cramp.
It's not like having sex in films where it's also like choreographed.
No.
And it's this perfect thing that happens. It isn't. That's not life.
No.
So anything funny that happens, have a giggle, because it is funny. But also, if you're with a partner if you giggle and your partner doesn't, tell them to have a day off. You need to be on the same wavelength.
Yeah, you need to relax. I think that's very important, actually, is relaxing during sex. Because when weird shit happens, because it will,
yeah,
that's how you kind of get through it. I mean, squirting's like
that's another one, yeah.
big one that's like, can be perceived as embarrassing. It's not.
Yeah, and again, is fetishised.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, in porn and stuff, to make them look like they've squirted, they sometimes put like
Yeah,
like,
because, like, have you seen it where it's like, I'm like, whoa. You've just, like, dropped your body weight in water.
Yeah.
Are you well? Do you need a hospital?
Someone get her some electrolytes.
Yeah, bitch. She needs a Lucozade Sports stat.
She's dehydrated. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Like,
weird as fuck.
When they, like, fake it. I don't know how they do it. I've read that sometimes they have,
Put a
like,
capsule in.
a capsule and it pops.
That makes more sense.
Yeah.
Because there's no way.
There's just no... Well, I mean, I think some women could probably do it.
Hey. Poor souls.
Yeah.
Poor souls.
I know. But, like, again,
That's
like...
got to be a nightmare for changing sheets.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Must be.
Definitely. Like, that's several towels.
Yeah,
for
it's got to
sure.
be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's an interesting one of squirting because people are like, oh, it's piss.
Well, it's not though, is it?
It's not though, is it? And we know this. Well, there's not that much research that's been done into squirting. There should be more research that's been done into it.
Lads, there's no research into the female anatomy whatsoever.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
Yeah.
There we go.
But like, it has like trace elements of urine in
Oh,
it,
right, okay.
which obviously it will do because...
But it's not coming from the same place. As your
No,
piss.
it's not coming from
Your piss hole.
your piss hole.
Or, for the more intelligent people out there, the urethra.
It's not it's not coming from there. It is actually coming from your vagina.
Yes.
So it's obviously not piss.
No, it's not.
They still don't know what it is, but it's just it's in the same way that I'm sure if you
Ectoplasm. That's what it is. It's your spirit leaving your fucking body, mate.
You know, it could well be. But in the same way that probably, like, if you, for example, this is quite graphic, if you were giving a blowjob
Okay.
and someone finished in your mouth, there would probably be trace elements of urine in that.
Well, yeah, because it's coming from the same pipe.
Duh.
So, yeah. But it's
So-
not piss.
It's not piss. No. We all know it's not piss.
Yeah.
So yeah, squirting's like an interesting one. Again, massively fetishized.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
I know, easy for you to say.
Yeah.
Fetishized.
Yeah. But again, not weird. And not weird if you do it, because I know women that have done it and have been like, what the fuck? Have I pissed the bed?
Yeah.
You haven't. It's just...
Yeah, I've been told that it feels like the sensation of pissing as well. So, like, I can understand why that would be fucking confusing.
Some women can't feel it. Some women cannot feel it, yeah.
And it just happens.
Just happens.
Oh, God, that would freak me out.
All of a sudden, bed's wet and it's like, oh, God.
That would, yeah, that would be pretty terrifying to be fair. Like, oh, my God. Bless him.
But again, like, there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing weird about it. You're not broken. You're not pissing unless you are deliberately pissing. Again,
Also,
fetish.
don't feel weird if you can't do it.
Yeah, don't feel weird if you can't do it. There is nothing wrong.
Because I think some people think that that's the equivalent of men finishing, but it's not.
It's not.
It's actually not.
And there's some men that I know that are like, I can get birds to squirt.
Well, no, because not everybody can.
And when you squirt, you don't necessarily orgasm either.
Ah, right, okay, there you go.
Those are two different things. So, like, sometimes when you orgasm, you do squirt, but those...
They're not
the same.
Really linked.
No. Like, it's squirting's like a bodily function, and orgasm is, well, you know what an orgasm is.
Yeah. Yeah, she is what she is.
She is what she is. She's a different kettle of fish.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But, again, nothing shameful about it.
Absolutely not.
We mentioned briefly before about, like, dressing up.
Oh, right, oh, yeah.
I don't really know what the in thing is right now to dress up as.
No idea, mate. I mean, you're always going to have the staples.
Yeah.
You know, you've got your fireman, your police officer, your nurse. It's, oh my God, it's emergency services. Jesus. Sorry, guys.
It is. It's like what you see on, like, the front of Love Honey.
Yes. Yeah.
And it is. It's like the... It's like the male and female version of the band YMCA.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
But I don't know whether, like I said, I don't really know whether people...
I don't know whether there's trending outfits.
I can't tell whether I'm just outing myself as fucking boring now because I'm not dressing up as Bob the Builder when I'm fucking...
Oh my God. No, yeah, maybe we are out on ourselves as being fucking vanilla, but do you know
People
what?
listening being like, oh, Jesus, now what's going on there? It's crusty dusty.
Yeah, yeah. We're getting to that age. God, Jesus Christ.
I just wish there was more education surrounding the topic of sex.
Absolutely.
Because the most that I have learned about sex has been from my friends, from the internet, and...
Which is a dangerous place to learn about sex from.
It very much is. And from my parents, because, like, we're a very open and honest household.
Yeah.
Like, in terms of talking about sex.
I feel like it is a mandatory thing that you should be doing as a parent is to discuss sexual health with your children.
Yes.
Because if you're leaving it down to schools, you are in dangerous waters.
Yeah.
Because they give you the medical side of it. Well, some schools do.
Some do.
But that's not... I mean, like we've just discussed, there's so much nuance to sex and what is and isn't okay, and, you know, especially when you're a kid that's going into adulthood, you've got no idea what to expect. You've got no idea what's coming.
You don't even know what you like. And that's what pisses me off the most about education revolving around sex. It's taught in such a way that it's like, it's mechanical and necessary.
I mean, I get that from a school though. That makes sense to me. But that's what I mean by you should also be at home getting the other side of it. There are medical things to take into consideration, but things are then going to happen to your body and you're going to grow up this way and, like, this is what people do on a base level. I mean, you don't have to go into weird, like, unbelievable detail with your kids because I know that that's uncomfortable,
But there is no element of, like, discussion around pleasure. And and because of that, the pleasure bit is demonised.
Yeah, it is.
Like, it's taboo.
And that's why maybe it's so difficult to, like, for a lot of people, especially people that I've had discussions with, it's difficult for them to find a partner that does actually pleasure them. And it is a good time when they sleep together.
Yeah, because it's also, they don't even know what they fucking want.
No, nobody just seems to know that.
Which is fair enough. Like, you can't be expected to know right out the gate, this is what I want, this is what I'm into. And obviously...
You've got to work it out.
Yeah, and things and preferences change over time as well. Stuff that you think that you might not be into, you're into later and vice versa.
Yeah.
But it does frustrate me that, like, the way that sex is taught, pleasure is never in the conversation. And, like, because of that, there is that shame around it being pleasurable, and there should never be, because sex should be fun and, like...
Well, in my eyes, that's the point of it.
Yeah, it's fun and consenting. Those are the two main things. You should be having a good time.
Yeah.
And if you're not having a good time, you can try and still have a good time, or you can walk away from it, and you should have consented.
Yeah.
You know, and continue to consent throughout.
Yeah. But I mean, looking at education, so the way that education is in schools is a weird one, because obviously you were in a secular school, right?
Yes.
And how were you taught about it?
We got plastic penises brought in of
Shut up.
different races, and which reflected racial stereotypes as well, may I add.
Oh.
And it was put the condom on the dong.
Are you being serious?
I am on my life.
You were taught how to put a condom on a dick?
A plastic penis, yes, which reflected racial stereotypes.
That's absolutely insane.
Yeah, that was a bit more progressive, but also it didn't really work because, like, these were all uncircumcised, in quotation marks, plastic penises, which, like, I don't know if you've ever seen a foreskin, but, like, you need to move them to actually put a condom on. Just a bit of a sex ed tip.
So that was only half informative then.
So I was like, right, well, this doesn't work completely. Like, I get what they were going for.
Yeah. Well, it's better than what we had.
What did you have?
Right. So I went to a Catholic school.
Yeah.
No, I'm not from a Catholic family. I just ended up there, don't ask. So, my God, it was shite. Essentially, what we were taught, from what I remember, and granted, there's not a lot that I remember from school.
Yeah.
But from what I remember, we were taught about STDs.
Yeah.
And that was it. No, but that was it.
Oh.
We weren't taught about contraception. We weren't taught about sex, like, in general terms, really. I actually think the most informative thing that we had was in primary school,
Yeah.
which was also Catholic.
Yeah.
There was a nurse that came in that put a tampon in a cup of water
Oh, right, okay.
to show us what it did.
Yeah.
But it was all centred around around the girls. There was next to fuck all for the boys.
Even though obviously they went through their own changes.
Yeah, there was next to fuck all for them.
Oh.
And then in senior school, it was literally they just showed us like pictures of petri dishes of STDs.
That's a bit bonkers.
That was it.
Was that like the angle of that, was that to do with abstention?
I mean, I guess so. Like, in hindsight, the cynical part of me is like, that's definitely what they were trying to do. They were trying to scare us and not shagging anyone.
Yeah, in case you got blue waffle.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, don't. Oh, that's just took me about 10 years. Don't. Fucking hell. That was something that everyone spoke about in school. Like, you got blue waffle. Fuck off. Jesus. But yeah, I assume now the cynical part of me is like, that's exactly what they were doing.
Yeah. But again, did that really help anyone?
No, did it fuck?
No.
No, did it fuck? The kids that went to that school made horrible fucking decisions around sex, trust me.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. But it does suck because education has that opportunity to do that. And to make it less fucking weird.
To make it less uncomfortable when you're first introduced to it. You know, that's what education should be about. And it is still such an uncomfortable topic.
Yeah.
Even now.
Yeah, because there's loads of aspects of like sexual health that you don't get taught about. Going to the loo after having sex, really important.
Mm-hmm.
What does thrush look like or feel like? What does a water infection feel like? What can you do?
What can you do about it?
What can you do about it? Who can you go to?
Yeah.
Why do we get that weird little goop thing?
Oh God!
During ovulation, why does like you fucking like?
Why does just random shit come out of your body?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
oh my fucking
just
God.
random stuff.
Yeah.
You've got no idea what it is.
You know, I'd heard about another thing that I didn't even realise was a thing. Do you know that it's very rare that this happens, by the way, right?
Okay.
But sometimes during your period, again, very rare that this happens.
Right.
Your period can come out all in one go. Your uterus.
Yes. I've had that happen.
Oh, you haven't? Oh, it's supposed to be so painful. A cast.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be really painful.
I've had that happen once to me.
Jesus.
And I was 14.
No.
And it was terrifying.
I bet it was.
Because I was at somebody else's house.
No.
It was deeply embarrassing. I thought I was dying.
As you would.
I genuinely thought I was dying.
Yeah. I bet that was awful.
It was horrendous. It never happened since. Dead weird.
Yeah.
It's really strange.
It's got a specific name, hasn't it? It's called something cast.
I didn't know that, you know. I didn't know it had a name.
Yeah, and basically it's like...
This is really educational. I'm glad I know what that was now.
But some people think that they miscarry when they have them. Because,
well, yeah.
Because it's like a 3D print of your uterus that comes out all in one go and that's your period, that's it. And sometimes it just happens because of hormones. I think it's more likely to happen when you've got... like if you're progesterone heavy, because it's to do with the way that the lining of your uterus is made thicker with that hormone.
Oh, right, okay.
So, yeah, you can have... It's like a cast that can come out and it's your whole period and it just comes out in one go.
That has happened to me.
Yeah, and it's extremely painful. It isn't very nice, but it doesn't last very long, because obviously once you've done that, it's kind of like your body's...
there's absolutely no pain after it.
Yeah, because it's like your body's birthday.
Yeah, it's gone.
It's gone. So...
Yeah, absolutely terrifying, mate.
But obviously, like, we're not taught about that. And it can happen.
Exactly.
There isn't any, like...
Also, sex on your period's demonised.
Yeah! Oh!
Isn't it?
Grow up. Yeah, have sex on your period. Put a towel down.
Put a towel down and get on with it, babe.
Yeah.
Nature's lube.
Oh! That's really rough.
That's really poorly. Sorry, I didn't mean that. I take it back.
Yeah, like, that's not weird. And also, as well, I feel like sex on your period helps cramps.
Yeah.
Don't tell you about that.
Also, having sex just before your period can bring your period on.
Can it?
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And it's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, why?
Yeah.
I wonder if it's because you relax.
Probably.
Do you know what I mean?
But yeah, there's like a whole bunch of things that I just wish...
You're not taught about. It's demonised for absolutely no fucking reason. And also, anything that you're doing, as long as you're happy with it, crack on, lad.
Crack on.
Crack on.
Happy and consenting, that is all that matters when it comes to sex.
Yeah.
Like completely.
Yeah.
I just say, it's just a shame that there isn't that input in education.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think it would serve like a lot of people well. If I didn't have... Well, I mean, I don't know how the bloody hell like our parents' generation did it without the internet, but if I didn't have my mates and I didn't have the internet, and if I didn't have such a good relationship with my parents, I don't know, like...
I feel like our parents' generation really did just fumble through it.
Yeah. It's terrifying to me to think about it, like...
Yeah.
Because...
And I'm grateful for the ones that now who realise that and are happy to speak to their kids about it. Because they were so traumatised by the fact that they had no fucking clue what was going on.
Yeah.
So I'm glad. So in a way, like I'm glad that now they've got the nous to actually speak to the kids.
Yeah.
But there's still a whole demographic of people that don't. That simply will not discuss it.
Yeah.
And it needs to be discussed, I'm afraid.
It does.
I'm sorry. I know that you find it uncomfortable, but guess what? You brought these kids in the world and you owe them a bit of education.
You do. You do.
You can't just let them off blindly. It's not fair.
And pray that abstention is gonna...
Because it's not. I'm sorry, but it's not.
It don't work.
No. Does it fuck?
People get curious, and as they should do.
That's a natural human thing to be, is curious.
Yeah, and it's a very natural thing is sex.
Of course it is.
And not that we all need it, but like...
No.
All of us will be interested in it probably at some point.
Yeah, at least one stage in your life, you know?
Even if you're not interested in it, like, and you're making a point that way, say, for example, if you're asexual, you've thought about it enough that you're just like, that ain't for me.
Yeah, but you have to think about it to know.
Yeah.
You know?
So, if it's human, and if everybody does it, or most people do it, then, like, why isn't it talked about more?
Yeah, why are we so arsed about it? Why do we find it so uncomfortable?
Because it isn't.
Because it's really not.
No.
Well...
Yeah.
I've got a feeling that this yappening might have come to an end, my darling.
Think it might have done, babe.
Okay, well, we shall see you on the next episode.
We shall indeed.
Okay.
Indeed? Indeed. Indeed. Alright, love you, bye.
Love you, bye.
Indeed.
Indeed. Went a bit else there.